We are going to learn how to use MS Query. To create an external query, go to Data, Import External Data, New Database Query. We are going to create a new data source. Press the OK button. What will be the name of the query? I will use My Test. Any unique name will do. In this example, we will be querying an Access database. Therefore, an Access driver is required. Navigate to the desired database. We will use the Northwind database. Press the OK button. Press the OK button again. Double-clicking on the MyTest data source will open the first of the MS Query Wizard panels, displaying a list of available tables. Let's expand the Employees table and view the available columns from that table. Clicking the single right arrow will select all columns for our query. Query Wizard panel number 2 is where we designate what records to retrieve. A hire date greater than or equal to April 1st, 1992 and less than or equal to August 14th, 1992 seems like a good choice. The third query panel allows you to specify the sort order. The fourth panel gives you 3 options. We will return the data to Excel. Complete the Import Data panel as desired. And there you go, you have created your first external database query. Now that we have the data in Excel, we can use the External Query SQL Retrieval Assistant to display the SQL behind the external query. Go to Xllerate, Assistance, External Query SQL Retrieval. The SQL Retrieval Assistant creates a SQL worksheet based upon the name of the worksheet containing the original external query. Now that you have the SQL code, let me show you how to modify the SQL code to allow you to change the query values at runtime. First, set up a new Xllerate program worksheet. I'll call mine Test. The TLC function to use is Data Query External Database. You can select the generic data source name from the drop-down list. We'll use Access Files. Enter the directory path and the database name in WSV2 and WSV3. WSV4 requires the SQL worksheet name, in this case, SQL_MSQuery_1. There is not a loop list for this example. I'll delete the contents of that cell. What will be the name of the worksheet after the results of the query have been downloaded? I'll call it Data. WSV7 through WSV10 are reserved for values that may be used by the SQL code at runtime. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the SQL code. The records to be downloaded is limited to those with a hire date greater than or equal to April 1st, 1992 and less than or equal to August 14th, 1992. We want that SQL to be a little more flexible. How about from January 1st, 1992 to December 31st, 1992? At runtime, a memory variable called WSV7 will exist. Its value will be January 1st, 1992. The same is true for WSV8, except its value will be 12/31/1992. In order for our SQL code to reflect these values at runtime, we must modify the code. I'll move the code line here to B4. In cell A4, I will use the substitute formula to replace the existing value of 1992-04-01 with the value of WSV7. I know I have written the formula correctly because the 1992-04-01 has been replaced with the WSV7 underscore runtime only value. There's another twist to this particular SQL code line. Since it is a date, and the SQL code format for this date is specific, in other words, YYYY-MM-DD, I want to be sure that the format of WSV7 is correct. Therefore, I will wrap the value of WSV7 with a text function formula, forcing the format of WSV7 to be the YYYY-MM-DD format. Now we have to follow these exact same steps to replace 1992-08-14 with WSV8. Let me just move this out of the way, and I'll move the code line over to B4. In cell A4, I'll use the substitute formula again to replace the existing value of 1992-08-14 with the value of WSV8. The formula is written correctly because the value 1992-08-14 has been replaced with WSV8 runtime only. As with the WSV7, I want to make sure the date format is correct, so I'll wrap the WSV8 value with the text function formula. The SQL has been modified for the runtime values for WSV7 and WSV8, and has also been modified to account for the date formats. We are ready to give our SQL code a try. Let's step through and watch what happens. This point in the step through allows you to review the SQL code and verify that the modified line has the correct values and is formatted correctly. We may now review the results of the query. Is this the data we expected? I'm going to cancel the program. Here's the program at normal speed. Done. For additional information on external queries, refer to the Xllerate Help Manual.